Barracudas, did you know that 85% of total brewery waste is spent grains? That means a large brewery who makes 10,000 gallons of beer a day makes 100,000 pounds of spent grain in a day that is just thrown into a landfill. How does that make you feel? What if you could install one piece of equipment that could turn waste into something sustainable for your community? Waste to Wheat has just the thing for you, a dryer that will turn waste into usable wheat for just a small price. Waste to Wheat is a company dedicated to revolutionizing the brewing industry. This segment will introduce to you the foundation and history that the company was built on. Our product inspiration came from one of the founders noticing the extreme waste in his brewing process. Sean O'Keefe, CEO of Pontoon Brewing, was discouraged with the amount of wasted grains that he encountered. He knew that there must be a solution that would eliminate the waste and turn it into a usable product. Sean installed the machine on his own brewery line and fell in love with the ability to convert the spent grain into a usable product. This led Sean to partner with the rest of our team to form Waste to Wheat as a distributor to reach breweries across the country. Sean's own brewery will serve as the partner by allowing potential customers to view his process in action. Our leadership team consists of Demetrius Jones, CEO, Sean O'Keefe, Vice President of Finance, Carly Patterson, Vice President of Marketing, Meredith Shaw, Vice President of Product, and myself, Lauren Wright, Vice President of Communications. Waste to Wheat looks for employees who are dedicated and strive to set good examples. Our employees help others by making an impact within and outside of our organization. Management understands the importance of team building and communication. We proudly host quarterly retreats that focus on building better communication and leadership skills. We also allow employees to take time off to participate in community service events. Our team promotes an open door policy that welcomes new ideas from all employees regardless of tenure or position. Our company goals and objectives include establishing our product in local breweries in a minimum of 5 different states within 5 years. We would like to utilize our product to aid in disaster relief centers to gain new customers in previously affected areas. This will allow us to grow profits by 25% in 2 years. We would like to become a market leader within 5 years with a 75% market share. Our mission statement is helping communities and breweries turn waste into aid. We aim to provide a quality product that will allow local breweries to turn waste into usable flour to be used to aid the community. Our key success are focused on encouraging local breweries to become a community partner. Breweries are encouraged to utilize the product to convert spent grain into a usable flour that can be donated to the community to aid in food banks, shelters, disaster relief centers, and more. This will allow breweries to connect with their community and reach more customers than ever before. Now that you know a little bit about the background of our company and our goals, I'm going to turn over to Demetrius to discuss our statement of need.
We would like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to hear about our life-changing product. In this section, we will discuss the Waste to Wheat spent grain dryer's purpose, what the benefits of the machine are, what companies in the past have done in order to combat this issue, and what the current competition is doing to solve this problem. There is a problem that the brewing industry has yet to address. This issue is how will they dispose of the excess grain left over from their brewing process. They will have to look no further than the Waste to Wheat spent grain dryer. This dryer takes your excess grain and turns it into reusable flour run through all FDA protocol. With this flour, you can distribute it to local shelters, soup kitchens, and food banks to make breaded products. We will now discuss the benefits of the Waste to Wheat spent grain dryer. The first benefit would be that we take excess grain left over from the brewing process and turn it into reusable flour ran through all FDA protocol. The next benefit would be that we provide companies with a healthy alternative for disposing of the waste left over from the brewing process. Breweries of the past have also tried to make the excess grain from the brewing process edible. As you can see from the picture, the excess grain from the brewing process was turned into livestock feed. However, the FDA pulled the plug on this program because it was not ran through all of FDA protocol. All of our flour will be ran through FDA protocol, which is what will separate our product from the ones of the past. The current competition has also tried ways to safely dispose of excess grain. In 2016, Maxine Perella covered a story that involved a Florida brewery using biodegradable and edible bearings for the safety of sea creatures. However, there were many flaws in this plan because it takes about 2 to 3 hours for the beer rings to become degradable, and it takes about 2 to 3 months for the beer rings to completely disappear. Our product would provide a plan to brewing companies that would provide them with a safe and instant solution for the disposal of excess grain. In conclusion, your investment would be very well utilized and it would help provide food for local communities, clean up the waste caused by excess grain, and change the brewing industry forever. I would now like to introduce you to Meredith, and she will provide you with our market analysis. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for introducing me, Demetrius. I'm Meredith Shaw, and I am the Vice President of Product Management here at Waste to Wheat. And with the introduction of Waste to Wheat Spent Grain Dryer, it is important to showcase how this will fulfill market needs. We will look at the features and benefits of the dryer, analyze the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, as well as looking at other potential products and services that can grow from the dryer. The product description will show why Waste to Wheat is an innovative way to use spent grain to create a more sustainable company and community. Waste to Wheat was created to take the waste a brewery creates and turn it into something sustainable for the community. Their brewery will turn the thousands of pounds of spent grain used for brewing beer into usable flour. The grain dryer can be seen on the left in the image below. The flour is rich with nitrates and vitamins and would be a much healthier alternative to bleached flour. This will also help use a byproduct that oftentimes is thrown out because the amount is used in a small time frame. The process involves taking fresh spent grain, instantly drying it, and using a vessel that devoids moisture and uses flash heat to completely dry the grain, and then grinding the grain into a meal or flour. The flour will then be flash pasteurized for FDA regulations, packaged, and will be available for making breads, pasta, breading products, etc. For a small capital cost, brewers will be able to have the machine attached to their mashed in grain outgates, process the grain in a matter of minutes, and have it deposited into 5 to 275 gallon containers and have it ready for pickup by local food shelters or charitable organizations. It will be a tax write-off, create excellent PR, and instantly get rid of spent grain that would otherwise just sit outside, stink, be tossed into landfills, or otherwise just wasted. Waste to Wheat has a sustainable new product that breweries across the country can use. The following SWOT analysis will discuss the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for Waste to Wheat. The chart can be seen below. The strengths: we have purchased the product that is unique to the brewery industry. This is a first-to-market idea that will revolutionize the way spent grain is used. We are in the process of patenting this product in the United States that can be used for processing the spent grain into usable flour or meal. This was established with Sean O'Keefe, who's also on our team, and he uses it at his own brewery, Pontoon Brewing. With the help of Sean and the rest of our experienced team, we are confident breweries around the nation will find our dryer to be a sustainable and eco-friendly way to cut down the waste. The weaknesses, which can also be seen in your handouts, in the business model could be replication. We have been pending patents on the imported dryers being used for transforming the spent grain into flour, but other machinery could potentially be used in similar fashion. The current cost of importing the machines is also another weakness of ours, and also the brewery market is a niche market. Although there are a few weaknesses, we do have great opportunities as well. The brewery industry, like I said, is a niche market, but it continues to grow year after year. We have the opportunity to create an overall industry drive to create a greener image for the brewery industry. This opportunity for the industry to decrease as waste and help create a more sustainable community. The threats of the industry is because it is a new market and we are the trendsetter in the industry. The risk of success or potential replication by another company could cause Waste to Wheat to abandon the project. Another threat could be the changing of FDA regulations for food, which would be the waste being created into the flour. This could create more cost if the machine needed to be modified, or create more waste if they deem the product is unusable. As far as our competition comparison, currently there's no companies that can provide this product to breweries. Our business model is based on adapting a product that usually would be thrown out to a more sustainable community use. At Waste to Wheat, we provide the other breweries with the dryer to attach to their current machinery, and we are currently the only company offering this type of product. As far as future products and services, in phase 1, we just want to sell the machinery, but we would like to expand across the nation. And as you'll see in the next section with Carly, she'll tell you about our expansion plan. And we would also have an installation and demonstration team that would go into the breweries and show them how to install and use the machinery in ways to help reduce the waste. Also, another idea that we've had is that we could have bakeries on site at the breweries to create just a more fun atmosphere at the breweries for people to hang out, eat some pastries and breads using the spent grain flour as well. And any food left over from the day could also be donated to the shelters along with the flour and other meal products used from the waste. In conclusion, Waste to Wheat is on the verge of a sustainability project to reduce our waste and give back to the community. Soon we plan to implement this in our brewery as well as other local breweries before expanding on the national level. There are many tribulations to overcome, but our team is up for the challenge. Waste to Wheat is a revolutionary business that will forever change the process of how breweries use spent grain for the good of others. I will now let Carly Patterson, our Vice President of Marketing, to tell you about our marketing analysis. Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith, for introducing me. I am Carly Patterson, and I will go over the important details found in the market analysis. These details will lay out the market in which we do business and the strategic plan for the target markets. In this section, Waste to Wheat will detail the growth, uniqueness, and sustainability of the spent grain dryer in the craft beer market. Our spent grain dryer is cutting edge and the only product available of its kind. Waste to Wheat focuses on the benefits of the product to local communities and strive to help breweries make an impact in their operations. Our target market is craft breweries. Craft breweries have grown and gained market share. Brewers Association annual report states that small and independent craft brewers saw a 6% rise in volume and accounted for more than 12% market share in the beer industry. Waste to Wheat's goal is for breweries to utilize the dryer to benefit local food banks, soup kitchens, and giving back to the community. We would like to be a foundation that inspires communities to reach out to their local breweries to install our product in their product lines. Waste to Wheat is the only company with this product and is currently working on a patent for the dryer. Waste to Wheat's goal is to have 75% market share and install our product throughout the country. Waste to Wheat's motive is to help breweries make an impact on their operations and communities. Craft brewers accounted for 129,000 jobs in 2016. Southern states saw a net increase of more than 35 breweries in 2016. And Waste to Wheat intends to capitalize on the growth in the Southeast and begin our target phases in this area. Our target market location will be throughout the Southeast. Currently, using our product are breweries in Atlanta, Nashville, and Raleigh. Phase 1 will focus on the Charleston, Columbia, and Montgomery area. And Phase 2 will be the final stage of the Southeast market and be in cities Richmond, Frankfort, Tallahassee, Jackson, Baton Rouge, and Little Rock. Here is a map of the target phases to better depict the area Waste to Wheat intends to reach. Waste to Wheat's marketing mix is comprised of our spent grain dryer at a small capital investment. Waste to Wheat utilizes various advertisement methods to reach breweries and help breweries make the right decision. Waste to Wheat has a distribution center in Georgia and makes it easy for customers to place questions or orders by phone or email. Here is a picture of the marketing mix for Waste to Wheat. Waste to Wheat created a spent grain dryer for breweries to use in their operations. We have proprietary drawings, patents pending, and a built-in potential volume discount with our manufacturer. Waste to Wheat was created to take the waste a brewery creates and turn it into a sustainable product for the community. The brewery will turn thousands of pounds of spent grain used for brewing beer into usable flour. Here is a picture of the product, the spent grain dryer, and of the proprietary drawing. Now, price. Several models for varying size breweries that range in price. The size of the product depends on total grain load maximum out of a brew house, and the pricing includes shipping, rigging, port fees, any associated tariffs, and any applicable taxes and installation. The smallest model is meant for brew houses that range from the 1 BBL size up to the 10 BBL size. Total cost of goods is $6,816 for the small model, and we will take an 83% margin by charging $12,492. Cost of goods for a medium dryer is $10,666, and we will take an 87% margin by charging $19,967.50. And for a large dryer, the cost of goods sold total is $16,502, and we will take an 81% margin by charging $29,937.50. And for the largest dryer, the total cost of goods is $22,682.80, and that will result in a 76% margin by charging $39,962.50. Our product can easily be purchased online or by contacting one of our local account managers. Distribution of the dryer will be from one of our warehouses in Georgia. Customers are more than welcome to come tour our warehouse. Waste to Wheat prides itself on an easy format for consumers to purchase the spent grain dryer. Operations take place in Georgia, making the Southeast a perfect target market. Waste to Wheat uses a variety of promotional strategies. Waste to Wheat incorporates word of mouth, news advertising, flyers, and literature to breweries. Waste to Wheat strives to educate breweries on the importance of sustainability and what they can do to make impact. Our company wants to encourage breweries to be a strong force in their community. Waste to Wheat has operated under www.wastetowheat.com for several years now. Our website has moderate traffic, and we plan to continue to increase attention to our website. Waste to Wheat wants to be sustainable in operations and focuses on eco-friendly processes. Our goal is to help companies easily place orders and ask questions on our website. Waste to Wheat also operates several social media pages such as LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow us at Waste to Wheat. Our goal is to interact with our customer base and build a community. Our website will give consumers various options and an insight into Waste to Wheat. Waste to Wheat's website incorporates the following: company background and goals, information on our products and benefits, an easy-to-use format to help consumers navigate and place orders, an FAQ section, and videos on installation, maintenance, and benefits. So in conclusion, Waste to Wheat's dryer will benefit your brewery and the community. Our product is affordable, easy to use, and sustainable. The installation of this product will create a long-standing partnership with the community and brewery. Let Waste to Wheat help you achieve your goals in sustainability. Up next, I will now turn the presentation over to Sean O'Keefe. He will be going over the financial analysis. Thank you.
Thank you, Carly, for introducing me. My name is Sean O'Keefe, and I'm the VP of Finance as well as the owner of Pontoon Brewing, and I'll be touching on some key financial points and why you should be investing with Waste to Wheat. As we previously stated, there are, of course, excellent reasons to own one of our grain dryers and mills, like improving public relations, having healthy tax breaks, being environmentally friendly and more sustainable, the convenience of not having to call farmers and haul away smelly grain, and then doing something good for your community. All these reasons are great, but at the end of the day, this is an investment, and investments need to have sound financials, evidence of growth, etc. So I'm here today to show you why Waste to Wheat is an excellent investment and in a high growth industry. Now, before we get into the numbers behind Waste to Wheat, I need to explain the difference between the slowing growth rate in craft beer sales and the steadily increasing growth rate in the number of breweries opening. This is truly our baseline measuring tool when it comes to sales forecasts, discount rates, risk assessment, and overall confidence in the industry. As Carly pointed out, small craft breweries saw a 6% increase in volume sales. The number was double digits only a few years ago, and that might create some uncertainty in our market. It needs to be asserted that while sales are slowly decreasing, the number of breweries opening is increasing in a double-digit growth numbers, around 16% overall, with a 10-year outlook of a steady bell curve in which we haven't even hit the stationary phase yet. Waste to Wheat has exponentially more clients, or we will have more exponentially clients by 2025. An increasingly more crowded brewing marketplace, which means more spent grain will be produced without a place for it to go. Farmers are already turning away grain, becoming more picky, and so now marks the perfect time for Waste to Wheat to begin production of our 4 models and start making a name for ourselves. So let's get into some startup costs. The needed investment will directly contribute to most of year one's working capital and the entire stock of mills and dryers for year one. Startup costs for our brick and mortar operation will require a healthy injection to have adequate staffing, proper licensing, marketing, rent, and many other initial costs. The difference between our operation now and our future operation rests on the idea that we will get the injection. Proper facilities and staffing will provide legitimacy to our business. As of right now, people are placing in orders on the phone, and they can't actually come and see the products in person. They can't touch it, they can't feel it. And so from a general sales perspective, this isn't as effective as opposed to being able to go out and pick your item that day and bring it home. The majority of funds will go to the equipment inventory and the cost of getting our items to our warehouse. Opening payroll is the other large initial cost that we'll need to hire engineers, sales staff, marketing staff in order to function properly. All right, let's get into some sales forecasts. As of today, we have 37 orders placed for grain dryers and mills. Currently, it's a ratio of 50% to 30% to 15% to 5% for our 4 models, 50% being the smallest model, 5% being the largest model. Using this data and a survey that we sent out with the Southeast Regional Brewers Association members, we landed on the sales ratio that we have and applied that to our linear regression that we ran. The linear regression, just to give you some reference, is a comparison between the sales volumes in craft brewers to the number of breweries opening. Once we found that regression, we applied the sales ratio and it populated our forecast that we're running off today. We elected to go to the conservative route and choose the lower confidence bound projections just to show the potential of sales growth where it could be. The initial year will consist mostly of early adapters that have been working with Pontoon Brewing in the past. Most are centrally located in the Southeast and have followed the project since day one. Year over year, our goal will be to seek out the followers by attending trade shows, joining state guilds, attending those meetings as well, boosting SEO and online marketing presence, word of mouth, personal references, etc. Every year, we'll hire more engineers, allowing us to visit more locations, install more setups, and have a decent staff to maintain the equipment over time. By year 5, our sales will start to level out, but this will be supplemented by breweries growing in size and having to purchase different units over time. For example, when a brewery opens up another facility or they change out their brew house from, let's say, a 10 barrel to a 30 barrel system, they're going to need a different size grain dryer. And assuming that the customer service was good and the product was good, they're going to want to go ahead and upgrade as well. You will lose some sales due to some third-party markets by other breweries selling those previous ones. But we've also looked into a buyback program and once it's paid off. And then also, you're not going to get the same customer service if you buy it from a third party. In any case, this will continue to provide a cash cow like scenario where new clients become less of the focus, and the focus will become on repeat customers and growing the size of their current grain dryers. By year 5, we'll be hitting around $5 million in revenue. All right, let's talk some operating costs and some cost of goods sold. Our operating costs will be led primarily by sales expenses, then rent, utilities, insurance, and then marketing and advertising. Hiring the proper staff to be able to set up the equipment quickly, efficiently, and properly will be the difference between us being an intermediary company that specializes in shipping the equipment and a full turnkey operation that focuses on the future of grain removal from turning waste into wheat. Waste to wheat also has very little overhead. Besides labor, the company is quite lean when it comes to costs. By embedding the costs into the product, including tariffs, taxes, shipping costs, our margins are actually quite healthy. All the while, our costs of goods sold are very low due to the contract that we set up with our manufacturer and supplier. We also found another supplier just in case our main supplier shuts down, breaches contract. We can also use that as leverage with our current supplier to make sure that they stay within the bounds of their contract. In addition to being lean overall, the inventory doesn't really depreciate over time while it's not in use, and doesn't really decline in value if stored properly. The risk of having the inventory is very minimal. Theoretically, we could purchase a setup in year 1 and in year 4 sell it, and it won't lose value. Even if we discount it over time, we're still talking minimal discounts because steel does not age poorly. Now here's where you come in. Currently, we're looking for a $1 million equity injection, which will get you a 30% stake in the company. This also includes a seat on the Equity Oversight Committee, which is essentially our board, and is primarily in charge of capital structure, future debt financing, future equity raises, etc. So you have a very large voice within the company. But more importantly, what you're getting out of Waste to Wheat, besides the good PR, besides the involvement with the community, like I said before, is the actual return on your investment. Currently, we're projecting to hit a 15% return of your investment over a 7 to 8 year period, which is an extremely healthy investment opportunity in this climate. Once again, when you pair that alongside the PR and the sustainability, the economic impact, and allowing brewers to reach more into their communities more than they already are, is a benefit that will allow Waste to Wheat to be able to be a large, sustainable company with excellent PR, excellent tax write-offs, and more importantly, a return on your investment that is legitimate. And now I'm going to go ahead and hand the presentation back over to Lauren, who's going to wrap up this investment and conclude this presentation. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you choose to invest in Waste to Wheat.
Thank you, Sean. In conclusion, an initial investment of $1 million in exchange for 30% equity will allow you to be at the forefront of a new market. Based on our sales forecast, the investment will be returned in entirety in 7 to 8 years at most. Waste to Wheat presents a unique business foundation that will turn waste into a usable byproduct that will turn breweries into a community pillar. Our product will allow breweries to capture more customers than ever before. Breweries can donate the flower to shelters and disaster relief centers in their local community. Businesses who aid their community are more likely to gain the support and business of their local community. We will now open the floor for questions and answers.
So why is this product or service going to make money? That's a great question. And as Sean mentioned in the financial analysis, the craft beer industries continue to grow in sales, even though the opening of breweries is slowing down. And by 2020, there's expected to be about 10,000 breweries across the United States. And all of these have issue disposing of the spent grain. And currently there's no easy way to dispose of it or even make it into something that is usable. So we will have the opportunity to come in and help all the breweries across the nation deal with the spent grain and reuse it to not only help reduce waste, but to give back to the local communities. Thank you.
How could another target market use or benefit from your product or service? Well, I'm glad that you asked this question. Waste to Wheat spent grain dryer can help other target markets benefit by being able to utilize the byproduct that would normally be thrown out. Other industries can benefit from the product by being a consumer of the byproduct for uses in bread, dog treats to lip balm, and soap. When a craft brewery utilizes our spent grain dryer, they can be a supplier to those around and help make other products. Paul Gatza, director of the Brewers Association, claims it's attractive to the consumer that, oh, there's another use for what's going on into my beer. Thank you.
So the question was, do we really need the investment? And the simple answer to that is, in order for Waste to Wheat to become fully operational and efficient, the upfront capital is absolutely needed. With the equity injection, we'll immediately take those funds and place the order for the equipment, which will take about 6 to 8 weeks to fabricate. It'll take about an additional 3 to 4 weeks to ship, and then an additional week for the equipment to go through customs, and then subsequently be shipped to our facility. If we don't get the injection, what we'll have to do is we'll have to require breweries to pay it all up front, or at least a large deposit. And then they'll have to wait several months before they can even use the grain dryer and mill. Not only is this a less attractive offer, but sales are more frequent when people can go and they can look and they can touch something and see it in operation. The way we're running right now is just simply, here's this concept, order it, and it'll work. What people really want to see is they want to see it in action. They want to be able to go and they want to be able to touch it, feel it, and say, I'm going to take this home today. And without the necessary capital, we're not able to place a $500,000 order plus all the expenses and fees associated with getting it to our facility. So, having the grain mill and dryer action at Pontoon Brewing will allow people to come and see it in action and be able to fully utilize it, see it, feel it, touch it. I know it sounds silly, but that is a thing. And so, it's the same reason why a car dealership wants you to come to the dealership as opposed to doing things over the phone or on the internet. Once you're there, once you're actually looking at the future equipment that you'll own, it's a lot harder to say no to. And so, 100%. We need the investment in order to fully utilize this company and make it what we think it can be.
Have you thought of ways to diversify your product or service? That's an excellent question. In phase 1, we will just sell the machinery. We can grow into having an install and demonstration team. This would allow for expansion of our experienced team to be able to go out and demonstrate the product to breweries, as well as install the machinery if they are interested in buying. We could add a bakery to Pontoon Brewing to make pastries and bread from spent grain flour. Any leftover food from the day could be donated to the shelters as well. This idea could also be presented to breweries during demonstrations or installation as a way to bring in more people to their breweries. Everyone loves food and beer, so why not go there?
Our long-term goal is to change the brewing industry and the way that it's perceived. We want to not only put a stop to the waste being dumped, but we want to provide those in the community with food that they cannot provide for themselves. This would also help communities across the world, and with your investment, that will be our ultimate goal.
If no one has any further questions, I would like to thank you all for taking the time to review our proposal. In closing, an initial investment of $1 million in exchange for 30% equity will allow you to be at the forefront of a new market. Waste a Week can cut down your waste with one piece of equipment that will make a difference for you and your community. Your brewery can be known for more than just beer. It can be known for giving back to others and making a difference in the community that you share. Let's turn your waste into wheat, and let's turn that wheat into something delicious to eat.